Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Freefall, the show where we discuss anything and everything musical, from albums to live albums to whatever's going on in the music world. I'm your host, Davies Tallow. And before we get started, please subscribe. It would really help me out. Like the video, hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode, and leave your own comment about whatever I'm going to be talking about. So today, I'm going to start out by I'm going to try to start doing this more. Give a little shout out to new subscriber Dana Post. Thank you for subscribing. I hope you enjoy my content. Really appreciate it. And also, Todd Stone. Uh, he left some good comments on my Uriah Heep rankings, album ranking. But anyway, his comments and his ranking got me thinking about what I'm going to be talking about here, and that's how we perceive music. Like musical genres or bands or individuals in the music world. How some albums we love and some albums we hate, and how we don't all agree 100% on how they should be ranked. Uh, Todd had left a ranking of his own, all 25 Uriah Heep albums. My ranking didn't include Chaos and Color, so because I did it well before that album came out. So, but anyway, his ranking differed probably 90% from mine. There are three that we were the same on. Very Heavy, Very Humble, the first album by Uriah Heep. We both ranked 5. Salisbury, we both ranked 6. And Equator, we both ranked last. I ranked at 24, he ranked at 25, but it was still last because if I'd ranked Case and Color, it would have been 25. So you get what I'm saying. I hope you do. So, and if you're wondering, has he less? Does Davies have less facial hair? Yes, I did shave the stash off. Uh, going to just something different, and eventually I'll be going a beard for winter, keep the face warm. It gets cold here in northern Utah. Not as cold as some places up further north, but it still can get pretty dang cold. But anyway, uh, Todd's comments and stuff got me thinking about this: how we perceive certain albums from different, from bygone eras, how albums can, from our past, say we were younger, don't hold weight as they do now, and vice versa. I've done some shows where certain bands that I cared less about when I was younger, I love now, and the bands that I loved then, I don't care for now. But this band, uh, I haven't, I hadn't heard this album for years, at least 30 years. The band is the J. Kyle's band. And they started out in the early 70s. And the album is Freeze Frame. Now, some of you are probably, well, Davey, come on, that album's too poppy. It's, not any good. 10, 20 years ago, I probably would have agreed with you. I can't remember what I was watching last night, but it mentioned Peter Wolf, the former lead singer of the Jay Giles Band, and it got me reminiscing about certain things, about my past, early '80s. Very special time for me. Um, and I remember this album being very prominent, you know, and this is the album I bought when it when it first came out. And so this released October 22nd, 1981. So it was around that time when I bought this. Uh, I was working at Weber High School as a janitor, and I'd work. I think we worked from like 3 o'clock, 3 or 4 till like 8. And right after this album came out, that winter, they had they they had an air concert. And if you don't know what an air concert is, where they play music from certain bands and people get up and lip sync and play air guitar and stuff. And they were having, I think they had like 3 air concerts at Weber High, and one of them, they a bunch of guys came out and did uh, freeze frame and Rage in the Cage from this. I think they might have done Centerfold, but it was dang fun. I mean, there was a couple of guys that had these cages made up. Rage in the cage, the rage in the cage, and one of the guys that was up on stage worked at the local store here in Plain City, and I told my mom of, about it, and she knew who the guy was. I can't remember his name, but she was at the store and he was helping buy her groceries, and she goes, "Oh, I heard you. I heard you did a little jumping out of the cage last night." Kind of caught up off guard. And, oh, how'd you know about that? She told me, well, my son worked there, and working there at the time, had its fringe benefits. I got it for free. Everybody else had to pay. Me and my people that worked there got it for free. But anyway, I got this album out. Well, I put it on YouTube Music. I brought it up on YouTube Music, bought the Jay Giles Band up, and I started by listening to their first album. Their very first album's uh, very bluesy. It's good. I'd never heard their first album. I didn't know they had all these albums from. I'd never really delved into their history. Uh, but anyway, I listened to that album, which came out in 1970. Just titled Jay Giles Band. It was released November 16th, 1970, and it's pretty dang good. Like I said, very bluesy. So then, anyway, uh, I decided, well, I'm going to listen to Freeze Frame. Hadn't heard that for at least 30 years, if not more. Though I still hear Freeze Frame and the title song and Centerfold on the radio from time to time out in the shop at work. Uh, so I put it on. Of course, it starts out with the title song, and I think I scared Bella last night because it's awesome. It's such a happy, energetic album. And I was dancing around and singing to the song, and Bella's looking at me like, "Oh my gosh, he's gone nuts." She was looking at me like, uh, then we got to Rage in the Cage. Of course, that brought back the memory of the air concert. Um, energetic song. Centerfold, of course, still great. Uh, then we got into the deep cuts, stuff I had not heard for 30 years, if not more. Do you remember when? Great song, fantastic. Insane, insane again. I'm like, wow. It's amazing how when I first got this album, I had not, I didn't want anything to do with these other songs except for Freeze Frame, Cage, and Centerfold. And I'm like, why haven't I heard these songs? Why did I ignore these? And saying again is great. It's just powerful, heavy rock. Uh, Flamethrower, same, great, fantastic. Just a flamethrower, you know. Blindness, little little bit poppy there, maybe a little too poppy for me, but still a good song. Angel and Blues, fantastic. And it ends with Piss on the Wall. The first time I heard that song, I'm like, wow, Piss on the Wall. uh, Players on this album: Peter Wolf, lead vocals; Seth Justman, keyboards, backing vocals; Jay Giles, guitar; Danny Klein, bass; Magic Dick. Yeah, that's what he goes by. Harmonica, trumpet, and saxophone; and Stephen Joe Blad on drums. Seth Justman produced and arranged this album. Just all in all, a great album, especially the deep cuts like Do You Remember When, Insane Insane Again, Flamethrower, Angel in the Blue. It's just, and I got to thinking, and I was thinking this while I was cutting the lawn today. I had to go out and cut the lawn. Yeah, I cut my own lawn. Next year, I'm going back to having somebody else do it. But anyway, you know, wanted to save some money, I guess. I was out there cutting the lawn thinking about this, how time can improve an album for you. Because, like I said, songs like Do You Remember When and Insane Insane Again, The Flames Are Over, I would never listen to this back when I first got this album. Freeze Frame, Centerfold, of course, I'd listen to those all the time. Rage in the Cage. Uh, but yeah, if you've never heard this album, give it a chance, give it a listen. Uh, I'm definitely going to be checking out their older stuff. Of course, they before this they had an album called Love Stinks. Love Stinks, doo hell yeah, Love Stinks. I'm going to check that album out. I'm going to check all their discography out. So anyway, check it out. Okay, now I'll find a place to put this. Too much stuff on my desk as usual. Coming to an album that I don't have a physical copy of, but I listened to on YouTube 3 times. Today I listened to it for the third time because I wanted to give it a fair shake. Um, by an individual who used to be the member of a very well-known band. Hang on a sec, let me bring my. Of course, that individual is none other than George Roger Waters. Of course, the band he used to be a part of, if you didn't know, was Pink Floyd. He used to be the bass player and singer. Uh, and he recently put out a new version of their well-known album Dark Side of the Moon, which was released. This version was released October 6th this year, 2023. I remember hearing the first single off it, Money, and it's basically just Roger Waters talking, talking lyrics, speaking lyrics, not singing them, speaking them. I wasn't impressed, and I listened after listening to the album again today. I'm still not impressed, though. There are a couple of shining moments. Um, Us and Them uh, is pretty close to the original version. Brain Damage the same. Uh, the album starts out with of course, with "Speak to Me." It has Roger talking the lyrics from Freefall from their Obscured by Clouds album. Why he thought the need to do that, I have no idea. On the Run, he's talking. Uh, I mean, the Great Gig in the Sky, he's talking again. It just a very angry version, as far as I'm concerned, of this album. Now, the original album, of course, is about madness and how the world can cause you to go insane. This right here is just that in overdrive. It's dark, moody. Roger Waters is a very talented person. He can write lyrics. Uh, he's a very angry individual. He went on record that he doesn't like capitalism. Uh, he blames the British hierarchy for the death of his father. Um, he just anything that's how would I put it? Freedom of choice and freedom has of well capitalism has given him everything he has, and I by that what I mean by that is it gave him the opportunity to make music, to become a rich person, and he is rich. Somebody says, "Oh no, he's not." Oh yeah, and if he says he's not, oh yes, he is a rich person. Um, but at the same time, he's let the negative side, and there's always a negative side to everything. There's always a negative side to whatever political movement you want to be a part of. There's always a negative side. There's a negative side of socialism. There's a negative side of capitalism. You know, religion. The thing is that that negative side is brought about by people who are very angry or don't like certain things about what the way the situation they're living in, the political situation or the religious situation they're living in. I've done it myself. I get very angry about things, but at the same time, you've got to look at what you have. Every time I get down, I look at what I have here. I'm surrounded by my family. I have this wonderful house I've been blessed with. I've been, I when I was younger, if somebody had said, "Well, one day you're going to own a house," I would have said, "Oh, yeah, right, sure." I've been very fortunate. Now, sure, there are things that have not worked out right, uh, and things will never be 100%. But you still keep on trying. You still try to look at that silver lining that is there, and there is always a silver lining to everything. Roger has taken things and made them so bleak that it's like, well, there's no possibility of anything being good from capitalism or anything being good from uh, democracy or you know. I'm sorry, I'm going off this political rant, but that's what I get from this album. It's just a negative thing, an album made by or an 80-year-old man, a very angry 80-year-old man. If they would have made this album like this back in '73, it would have not done as well as it did. It probably would have been thrown aside, and I mean, I've read where it's just a different version of his creative force. I don't know. There are people who have commended it, said good things about it. Um, one surprise, one that surprises me is Pink Floyd drummer Nick Mason said it was absolutely brilliant. Now, don't get me wrong; it's well produced, it's well played. It's just dark and doomy. And Roger, if you ever see this, I'm a fan. I don't agree with everything he said. The only album I own of Rogers, other than Pink Floyd, is Radio Chaos, and I haven't heard that album for since the year it came out. Uh, but Roger, if you ever see this, we need positive things. We've got too much negativity in this world, and if you want to blame the current situation in the Middle East, it's too much negativity. People wanting to run the lives of other people. That's happening here in the United States. It's happening in Great Britain. It's happening everywhere. People want to control other people, and that's what I get from this album. You're never going to control everybody. You're just going to take a situation that's bad and make it worse, trying to do so. So anyway, um, I would give this album out of 5 stars. I would give it 1.5, and that 1.5 is the one is for being well produced. The half is for uh, Us and Them, which is about the only song I really enjoyed, though it's still too dark and moody. But I'll give that half right there for that. And the album cover, maybe a 2. So anyway, that's how I feel. I'm sorry I got a little political there, but it's hard to avoid nowadays. Um, so anyway, um, check out Freeze Frame. Check out Dark Side of the Moon Redux. Make your own decision. That's what this channel is about. Is getting information out to the people about different album stuff. Make your own determination. Where I don't like this album, you might enjoy it 100%. But give it a listen. Um, but just be prepared. It's not, well, it's probably 10% of the original album, if that. And the 10% is the lyrics and stuff. But like I said, he's added stuff. I remember when the opening sequence of Speak to Me, when he starts talking, speaking the lyrics from Freefall, at first it didn't register. I'm like, well, I don't remember this being on there. Then that's when I realized, well, this is for Freefall. This is from Obscured by Clouds. Why is he doing that? I don't know. Of course, he wrote the music, or the lyrics and stuff. He can do whatever he wants. So anyway, check it out. Coming up, I'm going to be doing another. What have you been listening to? I got a whole bunch of, or, and also got a whole bunch of stuff that, yeah. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm going to be doing what you've been listening to, what I've been listening to the past couple of weeks. I was supposed to do this an episode of that last weekend, but I didn't. Things didn't turn out the way I wanted. So anyway, but before we go, I had a nice haul last weekend from the local music store. It used to be Hastings, now it's a Entertainment Mart. Ton of, I mean, they got used CDs, great condition all over the place. Um, First one is this little gem, Camelot, Silverthorn, box set for $8.99. I couldn't say no to that. Anyway, it's got a little booklet here, story of called Silverthorn. So, and I've listened to this, and it's really good. Got this one right here. It's got the CD in it. And it's got bonus CD and a poster. Now, oddly, when I open this up, in with the bonus CD was another CD. And I'm like, okay, so I got 3 CDs. Well, it was this thing right here. You can see that. Gosh dang glare from the window and the computer. No information on it. So I thought, well, maybe it's a mystery CD. Let me bring that up here. Oh, good grief, that's not what I wanted. Going the wrong thing, yeah. Okay. Get down to where I need to be here. A band called Trivium. And I believe this is like their third or fourth album. So somebody got whoever owned Camelot Silverthorne before me stuck this in there and forgot they had. So it's mine now. I've listened to a little bit of it. It's pretty good. So a little added bonus there. The next album I got last weekend was this one, Stand Up by Jethro Tull, $6.99. I do have this on vinyl, but I decided, what the heck? I'm going to get it on CD. So this is their second album. Their first purely rock album. Their first one was more a blues-based album. That was This Was. It's called just This Was. So anyway, Stand Up's great. The next one I got was Dogman by King's X. Very first King's X album I bought, $5.99. I haven't listened to that one yet. Got a lot of music here to go through. But I did listen to on YouTube Music a couple of years ago, and it's really good. Next one, a couple albums I got on vinyl, but I bought them on CD because I always wanted them on CD. Wow, that window glare is just terrible on some of these. Led Zeppelin 3. Of course, the drawback from the CD is you can't spin the little wheel and change some of the pictures. Another album, I absolutely love this album. A lot of people say it's too acoustic, but I don't care. I like acoustic as well as the heavy stuff. So the next one, another Led Zeppelin 4 or Four Symbols or whatever you want to call it. Old men with carrying sticks. $6.99. Couldn't pass that one up. So it's not really my favorite Led Zeppelin album. I still love it. Next one, I was quite surprised to find this. Cheap Trick. Now this is the complete concert of at Budokan. Now, if you're familiar with the original LP, original version of Live at Budokan, it's just a single disc. Why they didn't put out the full concert back then, I don't know. But of course, dealing with record execs and the record company, and they're going to do what they deem best for business. So many years later, they decided, hey, let's put the whole thing out there, which is fantastic. 2 CDs. Like it says, it's a complete concert. Very well done. Good booklet in here. The guys in the band. See them right there. Little story about it in here. Cheap Trick's not one of my favorite bands, but back in the day, I listened the heck out of Budokan. and $8.99. Can't say no. Next one. Gentlemen, that thing is really great. You can see it there. David Gilmour on an island. I got the live concert version of this album. He did the whole album live, which is just fantastic. So I've heard this album live, but I've never really heard it in the studio version. But it's anything like the live version, it's, it should be fantastic. Next one, band that I just recently got into, Clutch, and it's Clutch Earth Rocker. Yeah. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it was Hawkwind, a Hawkwind album, because they kind of got this kind of design on a lot of their albums. So, but I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's not Hawkwind, that's Clutch. Looking forward to listen to this. Hang on a sec. The disc is keeping from closing it. $7.99. Can't argue with that one. And then lastly, another band that I was really never into because their later albums from like late 70s onward, I don't really like all that well, but their older stuff, I really do. Keln House, Fleetwood Mac, see it there. $4.99. Really good album. Really good. Um, the Welch period of Fleetwood Mac is the one I really like. When this is right before that. This is when they were going from Peter Green to that era. But I really like this album. Really good. But a lot of the earlier Fleetwood Mac from the self-titled album Back is great. The bluesy Peter Green era, I'm not too keen on, but it's still good. So anyway, that's the haul I just got last week. Yeah, didn't like before when I got almost all the traffic. You never know what you're going to get at Entertainment Mart. Never know what you're going to find. So anyway, hope your week goes well. Been kind of rainy here the last few days. Today was great. Clouds are moving in again. It was cloudy this morning, cleared up. Now it's cloudy again, but it's supposed to be nice tomorrow. 70s for the week. Hey, I'll take it. Wherever you are, I hope the weather's great. Hope you're having a good time. Um, I hope things work out in the Middle East. I just hate seeing the people suffer, and especially the children. They deserve better. They deserve a world where they can go and play and have fun and learn things and grow up and be what they want to be. So anyway, have a good day, good week, and we'll see you. Like I said, I got another episode of What Are You Listening To this week coming up, and also going to be ranking the albums of Styx, which I was kind of surprised I hadn't ranked yet. So hopefully that'll be going on for Monday morning. So anyway, have a good week, and we'll see you later.